lesson 5.3b, part 1 actually, the objective is to go from an equation to a graph. We give you the equation and you draw what the graph might look like. So the important numbers in the equation are the very first number, that's called the leading coefficient, and all it tells you is end direction, leading coefficient. It tells you whether the function will end up or down. In this case, it's a positive 3, so it's going to end up. The next important number is that very first exponent, or the highest exponent in the problem. The 4 tells you it's a 4th degree polynomial. Tells you its name, or quartic. It also tells you how many turns that the function might have. Max number of turns. There's always going to be one less than that, so 3. The function will have 3 turns. It also tells you the maximum number of roots. Max number of roots, and if you recall from previous lessons, roots is the same thing as x-intercepts. So it might have 4 x-intercepts at the most. And that's what we want you, when you're sketching these, that's what we want you to show us. And then the last number at the very end is the y-intercept. Just like when you're doing linear functions. Okay. So, we give you the equation, you tell us what the graph might look like based on that number, that number, that number. And I will show you how I do this usually. We know that the y-intercept is -8, so I'm going to count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we know the function is going to cross the y-axis right there. We know that the end direction will be up. So I usually put an up arrow over here somewhere. And then I just go backwards and make sure that my graph has 4 x-intercepts. So there's 1 x-intercept. There's 2. Make sure it crosses the y-axis where it's supposed to. And there. That's a picture of what it might look like. Of course, there's no way to know for sure unless you know the value of b, c, d. So, recap. That's positive. It should end up. Dun, dun, dun. This determines that. And this number tells you that there might be 4 x-intercepts, or 4 roots. Okay. And then the last number, this tells you the y-intercept. And those are the important pieces of information you can extract from the equation. Next example is a cubic function. The leading coefficient is -5, so it's going to end down, and the y-intercept is +2. Y-intercept is +2. 1, 2. It will have a maximum of 3 roots. We don't know where they're going to be, but we do know what cubic functions look like, and we do know that it will end down. So I'm going to go ahead and put a down arrow, and it should have 3 x-intercepts. There's the first one right there. Here's the second one right there, and then it's going to have to curve back up like that. negative. Ends down. There are a maximum of 3 x-intercepts. 1, 2, 3. And the y-intercept is positive 2. Positive 2. That is what the function might look like. And the next lesson, I'm going to talk about if the equation is in this form in the next video. Canvas does not like long videos, so